Some people have no problems getting job offers. Not just one or two, but multiple job offers. And these people are doing something different compared to everyone else. First, they have the courage to talk to strangers. There are people out there that have the job you want to have. They're earning higher salaries than you're currently earning, but you don't want to talk to them. And it's easier than ever this year, 2023, next year, 2024, it has never been easier to reach out and to get information. So if you want to earn $150,000 a year, if you want to earn $200,000 a year, you can find an individual in that position, whether it's defense contracting, the private sector, government. You can reach out to a senior executive right now, strike up a conversation, and ask them what it takes to get into that position. But most of you won't. And there's one reason why. It's your pride, or you're fearful, and you do not want to appear vulnerable to a stranger. And that's a huge mistake for many of us. You need to swallow the pride, take a step forward, and strike up that conversation. What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to say, no, I don't know you. Maybe they won't even respond to you. And if that's the case, so what? Move on to the next person. Let's say you work at Walmart or McDonald's or Burger King, or you're unemployed. It doesn't matter. So what? So what that you worked at? So what that you earn minimum wage right now? Your past doesn't dictate your future. There's still a better future out there, but you have to get used to conversating, to talking, to coming out of your shell and asking them, what does it take to get this position? How can I start to build the experience and skills necessary to get that role because I want that role? But you will never know if you do not talk to people. And what are some people you can start talking to? You can start talking to your neighbors. You can start talking to people in your community. People on LinkedIn, you can use a filter. Find people with your background, your experience from your location, your little town or city. Find people with that background who are at a place you want to be at, and then reach out, talk to them. Next is people that get job offers, they don't quit. Now this seems pretty easy. It's a simple concept, but people struggle with it. You need to have the consistency to keep doing the things. People quit after 10, 15, 20, 50 applications, and they throw their hands up and they said, this isn't for me. I can't get this. But you still can get this. You have to be consistent. You have to show up each and every day and apply. Improve your resume. Improve your interviewing skills. Keep applying. Give yourself that chance. Detach yourself emotionally from the action, from the process of applying. Because if you're emotionally committed to applying, you're going to be discouraged. You're going to get depressed because you're not going to hear anything back. Nobody hears anything back in the first few days. You don't hear anything back in the first 2-3 weeks. It's about a month or longer before you hear anything back. So you have to take a step back emotionally. Do not take it personally and keep applying. In the military, most people can agree to one term. They'll give up 3 years or even 4 years of their life, but they won't go for a second term, or they won't go for the third term. They definitely won't stay 20 years to retire. Only 20% of people that get into the military stay until retirement. Why? It's a little uncomfortable being in the military, and it requires consistency. Do you want to wake up every day at 5:30 in the morning and run? Not everybody wants to do that. Do you want to shave pretty much every day? Not many people want to do that. But if you can unlock the ability to be consistent, then after 20 years, you are given a military pension. That's for life. How many people actually want a military pension? Pretty much everybody. It's a sweet deal. Why wouldn't you want money coming in every month for the rest of your life? Then why can't people be consistent? Because consistency is difficult. Next is they have someone look at their resume. Your resume isn't perfect. You need to have somebody look at it. Consistency is great. It's a wonderful thing. But if you do not make adjustments along the way, then you're simply beating your head against a brick wall. So you need to know, when is it time to adjust, to make those adjustments in your resume, in your strategy when it comes to job seeking. Now, sure, you can show your resume to 5 different people and you'll get back 5 different results. So who should you listen to? Obviously, you don't want to give it to your nephew in Canada to look at. You want to give it to somebody who's actually has the experience that's working in the sector, the industry, the field that you're pursuing. Give it to that individual that you trust, that you believe is somewhat competent, so that they can give you the feedback. That's where the valuable feedback will come from. If you're a software developer, then do not give it to a training manager. Give it to a software developer that's been at the job, that's been coding, that's been developing the applications. Give it to that person so they can look at it. You should always be welcoming to constructive criticism. People give me criticism all the time, right? And instinctively, a lot of us, we shut down or we get into defense mode. Like, I don't want to hear those negative words. But sometimes that criticism can help you build you. It can help build you into a better individual, into a more competitive candidate. And when you do get that new job, do not stop updating your resume. You should always be refreshing, updating that resume. You never know when another job opportunity will come across and you want to jump, but then you're thinking, well, for the last 2 or 3 years, I haven't been keeping my resume updated, so maybe I'll just wait for the next opportunity. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're sitting on the sidelines saying, I'm going to wait for the next opportunity. I'm going to wait for the next opportunity. You're letting 3, 4, 5 opportunities come by, and what are you doing? Keep your resume updated. Next thing is, people qualify for non-competitive hiring paths. There are ways to get a federal government job non-competitively, a little bit easier. Some of these ways are Schedule A, disability, 30% disabled veteran, VRA, which is Veterans Recruitment Appointment, Peace Corps or AmeriCorps. Another thing that you can do is get a 12-month certificate at one of these local universities. It doesn't matter what you get the certificate in. It could be IT, it could be HR, whatever you want to get it in. Get the certificate because that will unlock the recent student pathway. It's open for 24 months after you graduate with your certificate. And then you can start applying for other positions that are not necessarily open to the public, or they're not open to other government employees. It's a pathway just for recent students. A lot of people are eligible for these non-competitive hiring paths. They have no idea. They don't know because no one has told them. They haven't researched it. You need to talk to somebody and figure out, are one of these pathways, are they open to you? Because it makes hiring a little bit more easier. Next thing people do is they never stop developing. I don't care if you're a colonel, I don't care if you're a GS-15 or an SES. You haven't made it. None of us have made it. We're always continuing to grow. We don't stop reading. We don't stop learning. We don't stop growing. We're always trying to improve and get better, because once you're satisfied, like I'm okay, you kick your feet up, you're sipping lemonade on your porch and you think everything's fine, that's when we start to deteriorate. We deteriorate our body, our mind, we become less sharp. And that's not fair to the people around us. That's not fair for you. You want to become a better version of yourself each and every day. So next year, it should be version 2.0. The year after that, 2025, should be version 3.0. You're constantly getting better. Most of us are not happy with who we are today. And that's because we know we could be so much more. We could be making so much more of an impact. We could be earning more money. We could be doing more for others. So you have to keep that hunger alive. Keep progressing towards your goals. Make progress. And in that progress, that's where you're going to feel contentment. That's where you're going to feel joy and happiness. It's towards the progress. It's within the progress, not necessarily the goal. But the goal setting is a necessity. The opposite of that is to lay around and let the resentment grow. Let the bitterness form over you, and that's who essentially you will become. Now, if you're considering a federal government job, you might want to know, what is a typical day like for a government employee? What are the pros? What are the cons? What could cause you to get fired? If you'd like to know more about that, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.